Hey guys, so I wanted to make an update video about a possible RV selection for a possible home base. For those who follow this channel know that I've been considering buying a home base, one in particular in Florida for $25,000. It's an RV lot with full utilities. And so part of the planning and research of this would be to calculate all costs, to visualize how it would work, and to fully evaluate if it adds to my quality of life or if it's just a consumerism trap or stress. Because I'm fully content and happy living out of my car, which I have for 2 years. And I guess I'll make a notation when I say fully content. I mean, obviously, I guess if I was looking, would I be fully content? I mean, you can be content and still explore areas where you can grow or where you can change things to make your life a little bit better. So, but I understand people who want to put a little notation there. But I'm in no rush and I'm taking my time, and that shows. When you're rushing, when you're anxious, that's when things happen. But either way, back to the subject. To visualize this, to evaluate this, I have to see what RV I would put on this lot, because you can't just park your car there and sleep. And I've had conversations and email transactions with the HOA, the Homeowners Association. This lot is in a Homeowners Association, and I wanted to verify before I would even consider putting an offer on the property that what type of RV would be approved. I read through the bylaws. The bylaws for an HOA are basically rules and regulations that you have to comply with to be in that community. So pretty much the rules and regulations basically state that if your unit is over 5 years old, it's subject to HOA inspection to comply, that it's up to certain standards, and that has to be self-contained. But I've been through the community. I know, there's plenty of older RVs there. I'm going to get a new RV. My main concern was, is there a minimum length requirement? Because I have looked at different RV lots in different communities in Florida, and they want your RV to be at least 16 foot. But there is no minimum requirement. But the main requirement that I found in all these RV communities that you would ever purchase a lot in is they all require the RV, whether travel trailer, motorhome, whatever, they all require it to be self-contained. Self-contained means the RV has a kitchenette, living quarters, but mainly a bathroom. Okay, because even though this community in the clubhouse has a shower and a bathroom, part of the township ordinance in just about every town is that a living quarters has to have a bathroom, shower facilities. So that means self-contained, and that's what self-contained means. So that, people won't just throw their stuff anywhere, that there's proper means of eliminating your waste, etc. And so I found in my RV selection, because originally I was looking at RVs that my Jeep Renegade could tow. Either way, no matter what I select, I will probably have the RV parked at that RV lot, just anchored down to the concrete, and just never really tow it or move it, especially if I buy a travel trailer. And that's what I want to buy. I just want to buy a cheap, new $10,000 to $15,000 travel trailer, put it there, use that as my home and home base, and just travel back and forth in my car. Because eventually I would still have plans on getting a Toyota Prius and just using that as a home base and being very still mobile in my lifestyle. And so what I found was what they call Lite Falcon FL14. The dry weight is 1,700 pounds. The towing capacity on a Jeep Renegade is 2,000 pounds. So I could actually, technically they say you shouldn't tow more than 70 to 80% capacity of what your car or truck is rated at. So mine's rated at 2,000 max. I wouldn't want to probably load that thing over 1,600. So 1,700 pounds is pushing it if I could tow this. But it's good to know. It's the cutest, lightest one that I found on the market that I would be inspired to buy. It's listed, around 14,000 listed for 2018 that I saw. Again, Lite Falcon FL14. I really like it. Very cute, very inspiring. And so I'm sharing with you some of these things that I've learned, and how you have to work back and forth with the HOA to, but even like working with the HOA, this is a very informal HOA. And it seems like I lived in an HOA community, a homeowner association community, and they're usually condos or townhouses, for 15 years. And what I can tell you in my experience is I really didn't have much headache. There's certain times that you got to comply, like I had to get my dryer vent cleaned, I had to get inspected, I had to send that inspection to the HOA. When I had a dog, I had to send all the license and up-to-date shots for the dog to the HOA. So it's a little bit more work. It's another relationship that you have to manage, and that could be stress. But for most part, how I am is I just kind of mind my business. I don't cause any problems. I comply, and I really have never been bothered. It's a little bit of aggravation because you're adding relationship, and I'm thinking about that. That's why I haven't committed yet. But it depends on your personality. Some people, they don't want to deal with anyone else. They don't want to deal with any compliance rules, and that's why they want a house. There's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, I've already done it, so I know how to navigate it, and I don't mind it because I'm not a loud neighbor. I'm quiet. I'm not going to try to build anything there that I have to go back and forth with the HOA. I just want to, before I buy the lot, make sure that I would be comfortable with buying whatever RV I need to be compliant with the HOA. And I would like it for it to be towable with the Jeep Renegade, but it's not much out there. And I wanted to know about tying it down to the concrete, because the stipulation is if you're not going to be a seasonal resident, meaning if you're not going to leave the home base in the summer and then come back in the winter, then you have to comply with the HOA and anchor it down to the concrete pad so that during hurricane season, if there's a hurricane, that RV isn't just sitting there and it can't, just be blown into other people's houses. Obviously anything can be ripped out of the anchors, but this is a way to prevent possible damage, not really for your unit necessarily, because look, if you want to damage your unit, damage it, but for the homeowners around you so that your RV doesn't go flying into their window. So, I learned, when I looked at the RV lot, there are already anchors in the lot, so I wouldn't need to put anchors there. I just need to get new straps. The shed that's on the lot, for those who saw the video, the shed's already anchored down, so that's positive. So if I buy this lot, if I get it for 20 or 25,000, and I buy RV for 10, 15,000, it'd probably be 10,000, and I'm looking around $35,000 for everything. And then it's about, to maintain it, it's going to be about $250 a month. That includes taxes of $500 a year and an HOA of $183 a month. And utilities will probably be around $30, $40 a month. So if you average everything out, because the HOA includes the water, it includes the sewer, it includes free Wi-Fi at the clubhouse. Of course, it includes the amenities, the pool, different things like that. It includes trash removal. Now, again, I would just buying it because it's the most cost-effective one in the area that I like to be in Florida most. I could keep going to campground. I can do that, but at this point, there's certain areas in Florida I like to be the most, and campgrounds have certain regulations that you can only camp there so many days out of the year. You can only camp there 14 days consecutive, then you leave 3 days, come back, but then there's a total amount of number, and for each physical part, for basically every 6 months, you can't camp at any state park for more than 56 days, period. Okay? So you have to be mindful of that. I can keep it moving. I know plenty of campgrounds. But, you get to a certain point where, look, if I can get a cheap RV lot and a cheap RV, I may do it. And I like this. I want you to look up that RV, the Lite Falcon FL14. Very cute. But I'm sharing with you, and this is why I'm sharing. This is part of the evaluation, to get all the information, to get all the data, to talk to the HOA, to build a relationship, to know who you're dealing with. The feel I get is it's an older, retired community. Most of them are snowbirds. They pretty much, look, it sounds like, as long as you don't cause a problem, but I could tell you, as far as them getting back to you and be, there's a little, but that's any business in life. Most people, they don't really get back to you unless they have money on the line, and these people don't. The real estate agent does, but the real estate agent is just an agent. She's not the homeowner association. So I have to verify what she says with the homeowner association. So there's a little bit more work, there's a little bit more aggravation, but overall cost effectiveness long term, if I really want to plant roots in Florida in a certain area, this is the best option I've seen so far. Not perfect option, because nothing is perfect. But I wanted to share that update, RV selection, something that Jeep Renegade may possibly pull. and just some of the things in this layer of research that I've learned that may help you on your journey, whether you consider buying a home base, a RV lot, whether you consider doing it in an HOA, or whether you just consider, staying completely living out of your car, or if you're living in a house and you're trying to think of all these different options, you don't know what to do. What I always say to do is start at the bare minimum, like I'm doing, and then decide if you want to add something, because it's easier to acquire. It's harder to get rid of stuff than it is to acquire. And if you're living in a house, if you're renting an apartment, whatever you're doing, your job is not to pick a RV. Your job is not to pick a home base. Your job is to sell, liquidate, and throw your shit out. That's the hard part. Buying something is like eating candy, very easy. Okay. Before I even started living out of my car, I spent 1.5 years throwing everything out, selling my house, and liquidating and not buying anything. And then 2 years after that, just living out of my car. So you have to do things in order. Don't put the cart ahead of the horse, so to speak. If you're looking to downsize your life, sell and liquidate. That gives you the flexibility to have other choices. Don't acquire first. The number one rule of downsize is sell and liquidate first, don't acquire. But if you acquire, if you get to this season that I'm in, these are the different things you'll need to look at, some of them on your journey, and that's what I want to share with you.